This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. The American Red Cross urges blood donors to give in the final weeks of summer to help prevent a blood shortage. I am joined today by Dan Fox, who is the communications manager with Red Cross of St. Louis. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I am very good. So why would the summer make a difference?
Well, summer makes a difference for a couple of reasons. We don't see a drop in the need for blood, but we do see a drop in the number of donors who are coming out and visiting our blood drives. And the reason for that drop, again, a couple of factors play in. One, the nice weather. People are getting out and about. They don't want to spend time indoors. They want to go. They want to go out with their friends and family, and they want to go on their vacations. We certainly understand that, but when they're doing that, they aren't thinking much about blood donations. In addition to that, we've got our students out of school for the summer. That's great news for students, not so much for the Red Cross, because about 20% of the blood that the Red Cross collects comes from blood drives held at schools, at high schools, colleges, universities. So when those schools are out of session and those students are doing other things, again, they're not donating blood. So those factors can and often do play a role in keeping blood donations down, and we're encouraging people who are maybe coming back from their summer vacations, or if they haven't left yet, or if they're out and about and they want something to do to help the community, we encourage them to visit a blood drive.
Certainly. So help me understand this. You said that many of us are out and we're not thinking about blood drives or blood donation. What should we be thinking so that we keep it top of mind?
Well, what you want to remember is that, just a couple of stats, and we don't expect everyone to remember all of these, but you remember that the need for blood is constant. In fact, every 2 seconds, someone in this country needs a blood transfusion. Wow. And we want you to remember that those blood products that those hospital patients are receiving, they're not coming from anywhere other than voluntary blood donors. Blood is not something we can manufacture in a lab. The only way we can get it is from people rolling up their sleeves and visiting our blood drives and our donation centers. So what we want people to be thinking about is just that constant need, and not just for people in other parts of the country, or not for patients in other communities that you'll never meet, but for patients right here in the St. Louis area, for patients at hospitals across the St. Louis metro, people in our own neighborhoods, our own communities, and in some cases our own families, our own friends. And so we want people to remember that need for blood is constant, and it can impact every single one of us.
Sure. Well, I've heard of us talking about the economy and keeping the economy within our own community. If we give blood here at one of the donation sites or at one of the blood drives, is there a certainty or a guarantee that will be recirculated in this community here?
Well, that's a fantastic question. And yes, the Red Cross is a national network, but we want to make sure that all of our local needs are met first. So if you're donating blood right here in the St. Louis area, we want to make sure that blood is going to patients right here in the St. Louis area. But as we mentioned, we are a national network, and so in the event that there is blood needed elsewhere, in the event of a natural disaster in another part of the country that we might need to send blood products to those patients, we do have the resources able to do that. But we want people to remember that if you're donating blood right here in the St. Louis area, you can rest assured that patients in the St. Louis area, we will make sure their needs are taken care of before we begin shipping blood elsewhere.
That's wonderful. Talk a little bit about the need then. So are we in the black, or well, should I say in the red, since we're...
Well, the good news is that right now we do have enough blood on the shelves to make sure that patients do have the blood products they need. We don't have any indication that hospitals are canceling surgeries at this point, or that there are any patients out there that aren't getting the products they need. But we don't want to get to that point. We don't want to wait until we get there to start asking people to come out and donating blood. We want to make sure that we're proactive about it, because in the event that blood is needed, it's the blood that's on the shelves right now that's going to go to help a patient in need, and we want to make sure that those shelves continue to be stocked as we go through the final weeks of summer and get into the fall.
Sure. So what is your premium stock? What blood is in the most demand?
Well, certainly right now we're encouraging donors of all blood types to come out, but we do have a few that we're looking for in particular, and those include O-negative, B-negative, and A-negative blood. So if you or someone you know is one of those blood types, we certainly encourage you to roll up your sleeve and come see us. But If you don't know your blood type, or if you're just not one of those types, that's fine. We certainly want to see you as well.
Okay. If you don't know your blood type, for example, I'd like to know, I don't think I know what my children's blood type is. What are ways that we could find out?
Sure. If you'd like to find out your blood type, certainly you can talk to your doctor, talk to your family physician, and they could find out for you. Or if you come to donate blood with the American Red Cross, and this is a question that people ask us from time to time, do I need to know my blood type before donating? Mm-hmm. And no, you do not. If you don't know your blood type, that's fine. We'll be able to find that out for you. After your first donation with the American Red Cross, we'll be able to send you some information in the mail, and part of that information will be your blood type. It will also be your blood donor card. This would be a card that you can take to future blood drives to make your donation process run even smoother, and that card will have your blood type on it as well.
Sweet. So give me the run of show. What happens when we come to a blood drive?
Great question, and it's actually even easier now than it was even just a couple of weeks ago, and that is because just within the past week, the Red Cross here in the local area has launched what we call Rapid Pass. This is an online system that's going to get you through the process even faster. So if you come to a Red Cross blood drive, we're going to give you a booklet to look at that answers some of your questions, and that's going to talk about whether you're eligible to donate blood. And then we're going to ask you some personal questions about your health history. These are questions just to determine if you are indeed healthy enough to donate blood. Mm-hmm. Well, if you take advantage of Rapid Pass, you'll be able to answer all of those questions before even coming to the blood drive. You'll be able to answer those questions from the privacy of your own home or your own office on your computer at redcrossblood.org/rapidpass. Answer all those questions and then print out the form or email the form to yourself and show it to us on your mobile phone when you get to the blood drive. We'll be able to scan that form. We've already got all your answers now, so you can move on to the next step. And that next step is donating blood. That's when that's when you donate a pint of your blood, which typically takes about 10 minutes or so. Very little, if any, pain, any inconvenience. And then once you're done with that, more fun stuff. You get to enjoy the free refreshments and free snacks. And so the entire process, from the moment you walk into a blood drive to the moment you leave, typically takes about 45 minutes. But again, take advantage of this Rapid Pass. You could be out of there in 30 minutes or less.
Wow. So what's next, a drive-through?
We're slowly getting to that point, but right now we certainly want to make sure that our donors, when they come to a blood drive or a donation center, that they're getting in and out as efficiently and smoothly as possible, because we know, again, that the donors coming in, they're doing this voluntarily. They're not getting paid to do this. They're doing this because they want to and they understand the importance. And we understand the importance of your time. And so we want to give you back as much time as we can and, again, make this process as smooth as possible.
What conditions might someone not be qualified or eligible to give?
Great. If you are, first off, under the age of 16, unfortunately, you cannot donate blood. Now, if you are 16 years old, you can donate as long as you get a parental consent form signed. We have those forms at all of our blood drives. Otherwise, if you're at least 17 years old, you can donate blood without the need of a parental consent form. Also, you have to weigh at least 110 pounds and just be in overall good health. Just be feeling good. If you're not feeling quite 100%, maybe you're a little under the weather, not necessarily something that requires a doctor's visit, still something that's just leaving you feeling off, we'll ask you to wait a few days until your symptoms pass before you come out and see us, because we, again, want to make sure that the blood that you donate is as healthy as possible. We also want to make sure that our donors are as healthy as possible and as the blood products are as safe as possible. If you are on various medications for certain illnesses, that might prevent you from donating blood. And also if you've done any traveling outside of the country anytime recently, especially if you've gone this summer for any international travel, that might also prevent you from donating blood. The best way to get your answers questioned would be, or your questions answered, I should say, would be to visit our website at redcrossblood.org. You can also give us a call at 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit a Red Cross blood drive and speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members.
Man, you are good. Do you also do their PSAs? Because you ran that very well.
Yeah, this isn't my first time, but maybe I should think about that as a next career move.
I'll tell you what, you just give me a call and come on over to the studio. Another question I would have then, if the need is constant, for people to give more than once, is that something that you would encourage?
Absolutely. You can donate blood every 56 days, or roughly every 2 months. That's when each person is eligible to donate. We certainly encourage everyone who is eligible to donate as often as they are eligible. So if it's been a little while since the last time you've seen us, or if you've never come out to visit our one of our blood drives, we certainly encourage you to do that. But one of the great things that we've seen here across the St. Louis metro area, we have a lot of loyal donors. They come out every 2 months. They know when they're eligible to donate again, and they come out and see us because they understand the need for blood. They understand the importance of these blood donations. So for all of our regular blood donors, thank you so much for coming out as often as you do. And again, for those of you who have never been or have only been once or twice, we certainly hope you'll come back and see us.
Certainly. Well, then let's send out the invitation and compel our listeners. Now, this may seem like an obvious question, but what is the very critical, vital component? Why is blood so necessary?
You know, that's a great question, and it's one that might sound obvious, but a lot of people actually don't know the answer, and it's not a very simple answer. The blood is, not to be circular about it, but blood is the lifeblood. It is what helps us function every day. It's what helps us stay alive every day. In fact, in some cases, if a patient does not receive the blood products they need, that very well could be the difference between life and death. And we certainly don't want to cause any panic, and we don't want to alarm anyone, but we do want to make sure that our donors and your listeners understand the importance of these blood donations, and that each one of these donations is going to go to help somebody in need. And again, it could be the difference between life and death for a patient in need. So, if you've ever had any doubts or questions about why do we need blood, I hope that I've at least been able to shed a little bit of light on that. And again, you can find much more information at our website at redcrossblood.org or by giving us a call at 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Super. You've answered all of my questions except for the one about you. What brought you to this work?
That's another great question, and I was in fact impacted by the American Red Cross. Luckily, fortunately, I've not been in a situation where I have needed blood products, but I once I suffered through a house fire, and the American Red Cross was there within hours of the fire starting, before the firefighters had even left the scene. The Red Cross had showed up with their blankets and their bottles of water, and they were willing to help me. And I said, I got to join you guys. I got to do this. And so I was very fortunate to be able to join the Red Cross. And if we've got any listeners who would like to join the Red Cross as a volunteer, we certainly depend on volunteers each and every day. Again, you could find all of that information about how to volunteer by giving us a call or visiting our website.
Absolutely wonderful. Dan Fox, Communication Manager with the American Red Cross. Dan, thank you for your time today.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.